Hi everyone, welcome to Sunny Day Discussions. I am Sunny Day. Today I want to talk to you about Reaganomics. Reaganomics is basically just Ronald Reagan's economic policies. And his policies include major tax cuts, increased military spending, decreased social spending, and deregulations. His economic policies were based on trickle-down economics, which means that you give all the benefits and tax cuts to the wealthy, and they in turn, theoretically, will reinvest in their businesses by increased wages, that kind of a thing. Meaning that, their benefits will eventually trickle down and benefit us all. That obviously hasn't been the case because we are now the westernized nation with the largest wealth inequality. But anyway, going back to deregulation. Deregulation means less government oversight into corporations. And that can lead to monopolies. The corporations will buy out smaller businesses. And monopolies are really not a good thing because it makes the costs of goods higher because there's no competition. And also, we all remember the baby formula shortage. That was brought on because there's 3 major companies in the US that produce baby formula. One of them decided that they were going to cut costs, cut corners, whatever, to save themselves some money, and ended up putting out a contaminated product. And it caused sickness and in some cases death. So while that company was shut down to take care of whatever it needed to take care of, the other 2 companies just kept manufacturing, but we were down by 1/3 of the nation's supply of baby formula, causing the baby formula shortage. He also wanted to increase military spending, which meant that in order to cover that cost, he had to make cuts further into the social programs. Social programs are things like Social Security, food stamps, education, that kind of a thing. Between 1989, because of Reagan's economic policies, the top 1% of the population has become $29 trillion richer, while the rest of us have seen hardly any economic growth. Our wages haven't really gone up, yet, of course, the cost of goods has skyrocketed. Reagan's plan did work for a bit. The economy was doing well. Unemployment was down to 4%. But the long-term effects are kind of what you see today. By cutting the assistance for education, college education, which he cut by $594 million for student assistance and $338 million for Pell Grants, requiring students to apply for student loans, thus saddling them with exorbitant debt before they can even get out of the gates and start their careers. He cut federal school lunch spending by $1.5 billion. And then apparently that wasn't enough. So he proposed cutting the school lunch program by an additional $750 million, causing a lot of child hunger. He increased the military budget, and that didn't pay for itself. So he ended up having to raise the taxes again in order to pay for that. And he developed this system of cutting help for the poor to pay for the military budget. And as you can see, his economic policies are what we see today. We're still dealing with the repercussions. It's not working because, surprise, surprise, the rich people don't like to give up their money. And that means that the poor are getting poorer and the rich are getting richer because all of the tax breaks and benefits are going to the rich. And all of the programs that would benefit and help pull people out of poverty are being cut. And yet this is the party of pull yourself up by your bootstraps. But when you don't have bootstraps, you can't pull yourself up. So Obviously, Reagan's economic policies had some long-term negative effects, and we're still dealing with that, and it needs to change. There needs to be more equality in wages. We need a living wage. We need the rich to pay taxes. And then with that money that they pay in taxes, we can then turn that back into helping the social programs, which would then in turn help pull people out of poverty and increase the middle class, which has basically been regulated out of existence. So that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was insightful. I'm learning as I go as well. So you know the drill, like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you later.